Hi everyone, this is Autopostrophe. Let's check out Twin Cobra on the Genesis. This was one of the earlier, or it was one of the first games that the legendary development group Copeland created. Originally available in arcades, there were versions made for the NES, the PC Engine, and specifically the PC Engine because they didn't bring it out over here for the TurboGrafx, and the Mega Drive. So I think really the PC Engine version is probably the best version. But unfortunately, for the PC Engine, what it was trying to do was trying to emulate the arcade as much as possible. That also included sound. And I've never been fond of the sound of Twin Cobra. The composition is really good, the bass composition, but the instruments they were using in the arcade and in the turbo, I never really liked them. I thought they sounded too high-pitched and scratchy. But for this version, they used all the same melodies but different instruments, and I think overall it sounds better. So while I like the color and the speed of the turbo version, overall I like the sound of this version. And so this is the version I ended up playing really the most because I wasn't interested in playing the NES version and the TurboGrafx version, and the the PC Engine version wasn't never brought over to this side of the world. So let's check it out. I think this game is closest to the original Raiden. In fact, you'll probably feel like there's a lot of patterns that are used in both those games together. And the power-ups are very, very similar as well. You've got bombs you can use that clear out a portion of the area. You've got 3 different kinds of weapon types which can be upgraded. Has a very, very similar sort of pace and feel to it. You've got these weapons here or the ships here that have power-ups they just chase around the screen. Again, just like the original Raiden and Raiden 2 for that matter. Oh, Jesus. And you will die a lot. A lot. Yeah, unfortunately, the screen is not formatted to be a little bit more vertical. Obviously, we were playing in 4:3 back then, but this is one of those games that was in Taito mode, so it was set up as a vertical game. So you're missing, a bit of the playfield in this version, and really in the PC Engine version as well. Neither of them really accounted for the vertical playfield. I'm trying to remember if you got more playfield on the turbo version. It's possible. I don't know. We'll have to see. The Analog hasn't released their PC Engine SG, so it'll be a while before I can, get that machine. And hopefully I'll be able to use my Hue cards on that game. In general, the Analog machines are really good about creating region-free systems. I believe that this was fairly popular in the arcades as well. Yeah, I really enjoyed this game. There was a sequel made much later, but unfortunately it was only available in the arcade. Never saw a home version. And I haven't seen it pop up in Arcade Archive, so who knows if we're ever going to see that game again. Yeah, outside of Japanese arcades. or emulation on the PC potentially. Yeah, it's not an in-place spawn either. It's a checkpoint spawn. That was the same way in the arcade too. It didn't feature a in-place respawn. I mean, unless there was a later revision that added that, but that's what I remember from the arcade version. Yeah, I'd say it's a very, very decent version of the arcade. Not exact, obviously, but I think it largely captures the spirit of it. All the patterns are basically the same. You just have to react a little faster because the playfield is so much shorter. Again, a great sounding game. A lot of the Japanese developed games were really good sounding games. And like I said, we'll cover some of the more notorious Western developed games, and you can definitely hear a difference in the sound. And obviously this game is called Twin Cobra because it featured 2 players, but there was never a home version of this game that added the 2-player ability. It was all a single player. The power of the systems at the time just really couldn't handle all that, all the sprite manipulation. There's definitely limits to what they could do. At least without having the game, completely flicker, break up, or slow down. It was the better choice. Certainly later games in the Genesis life were able to add that 2-player ability and provide, a pretty hectic gameplay experience as well. I don't remember if I ever beat this game, but then maybe not in the arcade. I think the arcade is it was just so difficult. Again, for an arcade game, it has to be, quite difficult because it's trying to get money from you. Making the game too easy, you're only going to play it a couple times. Oh, son of a bitch. What? Oh my god. What I like about this game is that it, much like Raiden and Raiden 2, maybe not so much Raiden 3, is that you can definitely feel that the game is leading you to move in certain patterns, because some movements are safe and it feels like it's well laid out, you know, predictable and manageable. So there's real like flow to where you move and shoot. I'm impressed with the Mega SG. I mean, it's played every single cartridge I have so far, but I don't own any of the weirder games out there that required any sort of timing or any of the independent games either. So. You know, if it was cartridge manufactured back in the day, when these systems were at their peak, then they should work. Oh, wasn't paying attention. Kind of forgot how much the Genesis controller kind of makes you cramp up a little bit, because it doesn't necessarily rest in your hand all that well. I mean, it does and it doesn't. See how far I can get. Probably not far, even with 9 credits. Because it is a tough game. God, it's so hard to get past those. Like the world's most maneuverable helicopters. Yeah, the levels can be easier too if you pick specific power-ups or specific types of guns to use. You know, there's basically 3, and the levels are definitely set up for a certain kind of gun to be more advantageous to use. I think this one is supposed to use the triple shot, or it shoots, you know, the 2 shots from the side too. I think that's how the level seems to be set up. I think there's like an overall color scheme to the enemies, so if you run into more bluish enemies, then the blue power-up's good. And, you know, more yellow tinted enemies, then the yellow power-up's good. Or is that green? I don't know. It's one of those colors. Or it might be the opposite. Maybe you have to look for the opposite color. I can't remember. Yeah, I see now there's more red enemies, so I think the idea is to use the red power-up. You know, the Vulcan that you start off with. Anyway, pretty clever design. Just giving you a little hint without outright telling you. I do miss these kind of games, although I understand that I am a niche now. Of course, these kind of games used to be the majority of games, but obviously that was a long time ago. Well, strangely enough, you know, times really haven't changed that much. I mean, a game where you're shooting things, you know, primarily, is still the most popular kind of genre. You know, that's why you get your Fortnites and your Call of Duties, you know, are still, you know, reigning supreme. It's just that now they're, you know, shooting people instead of shooting machinery. Although technically, Minecraft is the most popular game, so I guess it's more about slashing than shooting. I know it's rough to be in the middle of a level that's laid in with just the pea shooter. Again, everything's possible. I mean, there's a lot of opposition, but flying in the right pattern, you know, will get you through. You just got to discover that. Figure out which enemies you want to engage with, which ones you can just let go. My ass kicked. I'll stick with the red one for now, since that seems to be the one they want us to use. Yeah, and that just switches weapons. That doesn't give your weapons any more power. You still need the the S power up to actually increase the strength of your weapon. The funny thing is that I guess I tend to like niche games, but these niche games are the ones that end up being like the most valuable later on. If I was in the mood to sell these games, but I really like these. It doesn't really make sense for me to sell them. I got too greedy. Too greedy. Damn it. Painting myself in that corner. Damn it all. I need that power up. I needs it. Oh no. I've had. Again, that's part of its arcade roots. It's like, okay, you need to move on, kid. Let's see, can I pause here? No, I'm gonna wait. Turn down the heat a little bit. Alright, just a second. Okay. Yeah, there's still a couple games in my on my wish list that I'm looking for. So whenever the world returns to somewhat normalcy and we have game conventions again, I'll definitely look for a few more Genesis games that I have. I've got almost everything that I want, that I consider good, and some things which I don't. But again, we'll cover those. You know, if you're a collector, you're bound to end up with some games that you didn't want. You know, if you're trying to buy something, and you know, it can only be bought in a package of other games, you know, other terrible games. Just couldn't get away. God, those things are annoying. Oh, son of a bitch. God damn it. Oh. Damn it. Still just have the pea shooter. It's so hard to get through here without fully powered up weapons. Again, completely possible. You can do it. It's just very difficult. back to the first song. Damn it. Ooh, just a hair of slowdown there, huh? Yeah, I didn't see that too often on the Genesis, but it definitely happens. Ugh. You know, it just happened more on the Super Nintendo. That's why people tend to remember the Genesis being so fast. It's like, well, you know, it was not a perfect system. There were definitely games that didn't run all that well on it. But, you know, it was a game early in the life, and, you know, attempting to do something that was, you know, a much more powerful arcade hardware. Again, pretty good job, really. You know, the 16-bit era was the, you know, kind of started the more satisfactory, you know, versions of arcade games. On the NES, it was basically, you'd never really get the arcade experience. But certainly in the 16-bit era, that started to become more possible. Although sometimes it was still better to make an original game. You know, since the home audience is much different than the arcade audience. Ah, damn it. Yeah, well. What can you do? Yeah, it is interesting too to think that the of the 16-bit era, or systems around the 16-bit era, the Genesis, you know, was, at least in North America, you know, the #1 system as far as units sold. But we don't really think of this, of the Sega as having, of the Genesis having like a lot of very good, valuable retro properties. You know, on the Nintendo side, there's like a lot of properties that are still going on, and the games in general are worth a heck of a lot more. Like I said, the legacy left behind Sega doesn't seem to be as great as it was for Nintendo. That's fine for collectors. You know, you're paying a little bit less, but there are definitely some games where you're paying, you know, a hefty sum. don't know why that is. I don't know why this system, you know, with it being so popular for its time, you know, doesn't garner that same set of nostalgia for most people, even most you know, vintage gamers out there that go back and play through them again. It's like, well, you know, that library just wasn't as good, I guess. Shit. God, it's so hard. Hard but avoidable, you know. So everything's your fault if you're not careful. Power than blue is going to give me. Ah, son of a bitch. God damn it. You never know when something's going to shoot you from the side, you know, when you think it's inactive or it's in a non-shooting cycle. At least not without playing. Keep playing. Eventually just memorize the stuff. Oh, God. That's what I don't like about the era of procedural games. You know, you don't get the satisfaction of memorizing, you know, all these patterns and feeling accomplished, you know, by going through the game with both your you know, your reactionary time plus your memorization. You know, it's something that you know, it's kind of difficult to build in there, but it's very satisfying when you do. You know, in the interest of trying to keep more variety in a level, and you know, you see a lot of the games made like this that are procedurally generated, and they're just not anywhere near as fun as a game just designed by folks who just sat down and figured out how a game should play. That's why it's a real lost art, the shmup, because it's much more difficult than anybody gives it credit for. Oh yeah, you look fun. I know I lived in a household that you know, you weren't supposed to make a lot of noise, so you know, I feel that like level of frustration that that makes me want to yell, but yeah, it's not built into me. You know, just get the hell beat out of me if I was too young, or if I was too loud when I was younger. So much as I would love to, you know, be entertaining and throw my controller, it's just like I really can't. Spent all these years, you know, restraining my emotions. It's hard to discover them once you've done that. It's breaking there somewhere. I knew it. Oh no, Jesus. Oh, God. Definitely didn't want to do that. No, damn, too early. No. God. Damn it. No. Damn it. Damn it. Thought they were done shooting. So tough. So tough. No, the weakest weapon. I have to get the green one, not the yellow one. Well, the colors look, you know, very similar in my in my vision. Damn it. This one's the most powerful one. Yeah, it's not tough all by itself, but two of them is definitely difficult. Oh boy. Damn it. I think it's the last level, stage 8. So everything's gonna be, you know, dramatically. Well, dramatically, it'll definitely be tougher. Thankfully, if the enemy's not on screen, then it's not gonna be able to shoot. But sometimes you need to pan over there. So be really careful where you move. Ah, shit. Let's put my ship in the worst place. Need that power up. Need it. shit. Boat assholes. All the time dealing with the helicopter assholes. Woohoo! Yeah, I can't believe something got in there. Ah, son of a bitch. Watch those tanks, man. Jesus. Yeah, get excited when you see it start catching on fire. It's like, yes, no. It can still shoot. Damn it. No. Ah, damn it. Ah, so many stupid mistakes. God, I can't believe we're going to use all these credits. Ugh. Oh. I just could not get it. No! Damn it, I wasn't caught in the blast. Ah, shit. God damn it. What is this? Ah. The only problem with the Mega SG. Who will ever hit down and start at the same time? Yeah. Anyone who wants to, like, maybe pause a game? That's a good shortcut, right? It's like, man, why did you just make another button on your controller? Which is what the 8-bit dude has, and has a shortcut to the down and start. Ah, God damn it. Okay, let's start without hitting down to not enter the goddamn menu. Because the menu doesn't pause the game. Okay, Jesus. Ugh. Damn it. Ugh. Ah, damn. Terrible. Ugh. It's so hard to get past this part. Oh god, they still come after you. Shit. Right as the boss is showing up. Ah. Damn dragonfly helicopters. Ugh. Damn it. I won't be that close to the left-hand side of the screen. It's just too dangerous over there. I wish I could preserve my bombs, but I really do need them. I just can't kill that thing fast enough without using a bomb. No! Damn it. No. Oh. Oh well, we tried. This is audap watching Twin Cobra on Sega Genesis. Like I said, this to me this is a classic. It's one of the better vertical shmups, especially on the Genesis. Genesis had like a lot of good shmups, but not really as many vertical shmups that were that good. You know, most of those ended up being on the PC Engine, but this one's great if you can find it, and it's not at least at this point in time, it's not one of those rare collector's games that, you know, not a lot of people know or care about another shooter. But it's not just another shooter; it's another great shooter. So that's my opinion, at least. And yeah, I think if you like these kind of games, then this is definitely up there with the likes of Raiden and Truxton and you know, many other greats. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.